God, now you are, oh my God! Oh my God! Do you see this? Oh my God, I never thought nothing like this would happen to me. She just tried to run and hit me. And now she, did you see her? You saw her, right? They all saw her. Oh my God. Karen had a breakdown. She tried to hit me. I'm scared to even approach her. You scaring me. Like you gotta go postal. No, why don't she walk away from me? No, I was here. No. We're not doing this.
So I saw this story about a week ago, and I wasn't going to say anything about it, but I keep seeing more and more videos pop up about it, and I think what's mostly concerning to me is how many people are just rushing to this girl on the left, her defense, the one that was recording it, and in the comment section, and not just the comment section, the videos that are being made about this. So first, let's give a rundown of what actually happened there in Victoria's Secret. I don't know what led up to this. I think they were both at the counter and somebody cut somebody. I'm not sure exactly. And then this white lady here on the right, who they're saying now is a teacher. I don't know if that's a rumor, but that's concerning as well. She has like this full-blown tantrum. A tantrum like my 5-year-old would not even throw a tantrum like this. Maybe not even my 2-year-old, you know. But she throws this tantrum. Maybe she's on the spectrum somewhere. I would say she most likely is. And I would say that's why the store personnel responded the way they did as well. Why, instead of like calling security and asking her to be escorted or something because she wasn't leaving herself, they were just trying to allow the situation to die down so she could manage herself and leave, I guess. I'm not sure why they stayed. This is what is very, very confusing to me. She sees this lady on the left recording her. She becomes extremely embarrassed. She goes and tries to smack the phone out of her hand, as we see so many videos like this. And then the person who's holding the camera, of course, says they're assaulted. And then she continues to record and laugh at her and sort of taunt her, just hanging around the store as, you know, this woman is completely melting down in front of everyone.
No, why don't she walk away from me? No, I was here. No. We're not doing this.
So you see the woman in the blue jacket in line says, why not just walk away from her? And then she's like, oh, no, why don't she walk away from me? Well, clearly there's something wrong with her. Clearly. And this is what's bothering me so much about these video after video like this. I'm saying, especially on this channel, this DD channel, where it's like the person recording is complicating and like arguing and just making the situation inflamed and worse. And nobody can see it. Not the person recording, not anyone in the comment section. They just rush to their defense. And I don't know what's wrong with so many people that are seemingly normal. They act like they're rational for the most part, but then they're not rational when it comes to these sort of biases that they have. So I saw someone in the comment section said that she's recording for her protection. Okay, that makes sense. If you were walking away, trying to get away from this scenario, the situation, as she says multiple times in the video, she's worried that this woman is going to go postal, you know, hit her. She doesn't want to get near her. Okay, so if you're concerned and you're saying she's assaulted you and you fear that something more might happen, yet you're still there pretending as if you don't comprehend this is inflaming the situation. So it's like, I don't know, these people are getting so honed in on whatever point it is they're trying to prove that nothing else matters. You can't talk logically to them. You can't have them speak calmly. You can't be reasonable. I'm going to give these women a name. I'm going to call them Messy Millies, because if we can call white women Karens, and this is not for the black women specifically, this is for, I'd like to rename the Karens, and I'd like to call all of them Messy Millies, no matter what color they are. If you're being messy, and you're stepping into someone's business or anything like that. It could cover all areas of not minding your own business. If it would be wrong to pick a traditionally black female name and call any these women that, and just like all of them the same name, then it's wrong to do it vice versa. It's like the hate and the bias has their perception completely clouded, completely. And I can see it in so many comments. The people that are cheering them along, they really do, they have this sort of joy, this sort of tinge of hope to see these Karens brought down, to see terrible things happen to them. And I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. But this reminded me of this other situation. This white woman is accused of stealing in Walmart. She claims she has a receipt. I don't know if she did or didn't, but the woman recording is, wanting to see her taken down, go down. She tries to smack the phone out of her hand, calls it assault, keeps inflaming the situation, and keeps bragging about how she knocked her ass out. The cops try to help her, try to stop saying that so loudly, and try to explain to her that they're just going to write it down. Nothing's going to come of this if neither of them take out charges on each other. And they're going to give each other the police report number. That was the only thing they were going to give. And this lady doesn't hear a word he says because he wasn't coming in, bulldozing over the other lady and agreeing with everything she said. And that's sort of the rhythm of what I see happening. It's like if somebody doesn't come in immediately agreeing with everything you're saying, they're racist, they're biased, it's this, it's that. And all he was trying to tell her was that, he was giving them both the police report number. He was doing it by the book, and she didn't hear anything. She heard that he was taking her word for it, the white lady's, and that he was going to arrest her and he was going to give her all her information, like as if he would give her her address and phone number. So yeah, it's just a mess. And again, it's so bothersome to me because we see so many people nowadays that are just either irrational, or when they do get in some sort of conflict like this, they can't listen to each other. They can't try to have a cohesive conversation and try to de-escalate the situation, which to do that you would have to have understanding and listen to one another. But nobody is doing that. They're just wanting people to rush in and agree with whatever it is they are thinking. So with this woman in particular, security ended up coming. She recorded for like 20 minutes or so walking around the store. And I don't know, I would have just put down my panties and left. I don't understand. I don't comprehend this. Like, you see someone is clearly mentally unstable. No adult acts like this unless this woman is probably autistic, Again, I'm sure that's why the employees did not call security on her, because that would be wrong to, I don't know, I probably would have still had this security help her to her car or something like that, right? So they come, and she immediately wants them to rush to her defense, and they are just trying to understand what's going on. I believe the police end up telling her, but she's demanding they escort the Karen out of the store, right? Because she assaulted her and all of this and that. And they're like, no, we can't do this because the employees or the owner of the store has to request that. So they didn't request that. They were probably just hoping the situation can be diffused and both parties could leave. So that didn't happen. And she ends up, storming out, angry that a white woman got away with what she wanted and using her whiteness when it was really her mental illness. And then she goes to the police station complaining about it. And so I don't know whatever came of all of that. But wow.
What conversations are you having with your white child before you send them off into the world to hang out with their black and brown friends? Because we know that black folks have the talk with their black children all the time about how they operate in the world, but what are you doing to prepare your child for those interactions that they find themselves in with black and brown kids? I just dropped my son and my niece my cousin's daughter's off at the amusement park, and I'll be dropping my daughter off with them later, and I had to give him the speech that started with like, you're the oldest, and then turned into, you also are a white boy and you're going to be with a whole bunch of black girls, and what does that mean when stuff pops off, and what is your responsibility and your privilege that can be used to protect the black folks around you instead of causing them harm.
How about just be a normal, rational person? And it doesn't have to get this complicated. How about maybe this is why so many people are coming into these situations expecting a certain outcome. And not only that, you've got some sort of resentment because you've been told this your whole life, that even the white people that you love, they're somehow more special than you. You know, they somehow are just more supreme, and they may just get their way whenever they want. As long as there's white people around, right? What about when there's black people around? Do you expect to get your way? I would assume so, because you're assuming the otherwise, right? So that even complicates it worse. What do I tell my kids? Nothing. They are taught love and compassion, and that we're all equal children of God. And so when we go out into the world, if there's a black kid or a Mexican kid or a white kid, it really doesn't matter. As long as that kid is smiling and willing to play with them, they're all for it. You know, they love everyone. So kids are already naturally that way. You don't have to set them up to have any sort of belief system about this. And that way, when they do see something that doesn't make sense, logical sense, happening to someone unjustified, you know, someone's being accused of something or whatever the scenario or case may be, they can call it out without bias. Imagine that.
Marine told us that a military history training session was replaced with mandatory training on police brutality, white privilege, and systemic racism. He reported that several officers are now leaving his unit, citing that training. We're hearing reports of plummeting morale, growing mistrust between the races and sexes where none existed just 6 months ago, and unexpected retirements and separations based on these trainings alone.
Not just white soldiers, black soldiers as well, female soldiers.
One African-American officer disparagingly said, and I quote, "The Navy thinks my only value is as a black woman, and not the fact that she is a highly trained military specialist."
The devil is a real trickster. And funny enough, speaking of the military, this is a pretty tactical move. I'm not saying someone is pulling the strings, some white supremacist somewhere. I'm just saying you let the people you want to destroy themselves. Anyway, that's it. Trying to kind of get away from the morality sort of stuff, but I keep sort of going right back to it, don't I? Y'all have a blessed day.